Doubt sunk in before he was even out of sight of the Farfarer. Why had he chosen the Sky Ripper? It was the sort of path he'd always avoided. The path of responsibility, of seriousness. Had he grown up? He didn't feel grown up. He'd made this decision from his gut, like he always did. Somehow, he'd impulsively decided to stop being impulsive. Did that make any sense?
Sharp? Check. Pointy? Check. Flexible? Check. What else do you need in a sword?
Live that. Well, I guess I could have trusted myself and like, I could fucking get this goddamn perfect shit. What did you trust me to do? I did. Xbox is retarded, sitting there making this weird ass buzzing noise. It's not even a noise. Freaking me out there. Don't teleport me back here with you, like, pay attention. Okay, I like that. Don't waste my fucking time on everything. Hell yeah, let's jump down now. Save ticket. No, in this game, to me, where you hurt Chris. This fucking sword by accident. Okay. You guys see me chopple this stuff in here? JK, it's a bot. I know, but I think one night after that.
There was something sour in the air. Like the earth had ruptured over something that had been fermenting for a very long time.
Four times four.
Where did that go to?
Oh shit. That's that. Oh my fucking god. No, I don't want to restart from anything. Oh. Can I not play anymore? Is that just it?
Renata felt ready to take on new powers. There were fewer and fewer trees. There were only these huge crystalline growths. Had those been here before? He no longer heard birds except for the feverish cawing of the ravens when they attacked. He couldn't smell the small animals of the forest. The mice and rabbits. Where had they gone? And he was getting hungry too. This was an unhealthy place to be.
It's mad violent.
Cool.
Dash.
Wish I could do that. The 20-sided core made him feel physically sick. Once he had sneaked into a temple of the dark arts, and he hadn't liked what he smelt and saw there. This felt like that. As quick as he could, he wrangled the icosahedron into the armature. The wheels began to spin, then glow. The sick feeling quickly spun away. Now he only felt sad. He had lost good friends for this war apparatus. Maybe Lapino wasn't such a good friend. Yeah, that made him feel better. He carried his prize back to the Farfarer. Now, he had to make his next move. There was a key Imperial outpost on the Nexus. If this really was some sort of super weapon, he could use it to wreak havoc on the enemy. And if it wasn't, well, better to know that before the final battle. But maybe he should show it to some scientists first. There was an observatory on the Nexus. Maybe he should go there before he fired it. Of course, if you've just assembled a weapon out of legend that can exile gods from the world, you'd want to have a scientist or two look at it. And even if they disagreed and he had time, you could ask Calaveras himself. Yes, the observatory would be his objective.
Hopefully more than 14 health. Oh my god. I gotta play better. System. Outlet. Quesadilla. And some ramen. And a bowl.
Why had the parts of the Sky Ripper only surfaced now, thousands of years after the Transcendent Emperor had dismantled it? The mad Emperor Isengrim had performed terrible, bloodthirsty rituals to invoke the lost gods. Was that why these ancient artifacts were rising out of the ground? How perfect, then, that the Sky Ripper would reappear to be his destruction. What were these poles exactly? Parking meters from the time of the lost gods?
Probably got great stuff. We have some perfect strike as we did up here. I feel like this thing was floating just like next to me. I saw buddies to new weapons.
If he ever had a castle, he was going to hide his stuff better.
Right. Awful easy to jack my shit. Sword do I need? Is it like a void sword? That'd be. Oh my
What's
God,
for
you
dinner?
can
He
fucking
thought.
do that to me?
Hope it's not broccoli.
I love broccoli. I got hit with the explosion. Pay attention. Okay, we're gonna perfect it this time to make up the but see he's fucking swinging. That's how you know he fucked me over. Like in Call of Duty when you get spawned and you respawn. Oh, I hate
What
the
dreams
dash.
may come, he thought. And then he found out.
Oh my God, I fucking suck, dude.
A legendary weapon was exactly what the rebellion needed. They were outnumbered. The once kind emperor had become a tyrant. But his ravens stayed loyal, for he fed them his victims, and the other animals were too frightened to rebel. Renato shuddered at what the emperor was trying to do. To bring back the lost gods, the Black Harvest, the Black Sun? No. He would stop that toad, no matter what the risk.
Which way do you suppose I should go? Whichever way has
It wasn't his fault. They looked so breakable.
The way of treasure. That was the greatest. Sorry, I not being dead. It's been happening far too often.
The Nexus Observatory had the Empire's most renowned scientists, working by themselves without interference. At least, so far. Hey! Hey, a workbench! He could try out his new bling.
Really? Okay.
Imagine if you built a house on one of these things. Oh, that would be amazing. It would be like having a boat.
That was close.
Boy, some people are just liable to explode if you upset them.
Fucking take me. God damn it. Piss me off.
My God,
Oh my
it's
god.
full of stars.
Ugh. Fuck this game.
I think this is yours, said Renato. But he couldn't hear his enemy's answer.
But it's fine. No matter how much rage I have. Everyone watching this video. As mentioned in the
Hey! Hey! I'm a firefox, thought Renato.
That's what Internet Explorer, right? Whatever it is. Edge. What's that new one? This one has that shit. Is there anything I can steal?
Renato was thrilled. The scientists seemed to think he'd put the Sky Ripper together right. But one toad was worried.
Yeah, Sky Ripper could tear a hole in existence itself. There are invisible strings that tie the universe together. If Sky Ripper cut one, the hole would widen and widen till our whole existence fell into it.
Another toad sighed.
Irving still believes in string theory. At least go see Calaveras.
Yeah, said the worried toad.
He knows more than anyone else has forgotten about the Transcendent Emperor.
If anyone could tell him how to use this weapon safely, it would be Calaveras. It was he who had told Renato how to find it in the first place. But maybe he had to give up on using it as a weapon. Maybe he had to go to the secret rebel base and ask the generals there what he could do with a weapon that he dared not use. Well, he should have known he'd have to consult Calaveras again. The scientists at the Observatory were smart enough. But what did they know of the Transcendent Emperor? He hoped it wouldn't delay him too long. The rebels had scheduled the final battle soon. Every day they delayed risked the exposure of the secret base. And some soldiers were already drifting back to their homes and families. Calaveras would fix the Sky Ripper for him. And then he would win the final battle. Maybe it was the cold. But after a few steps, Renado's optimism started to slump. What if Calaveras couldn't help? Did Renado dare use the Sky Ripper? Oh, he hated that he had chosen this path. It was so much simpler to rescue friends and attack enemies, even if some of those friends were more trouble than his enemies. Some of those enemies had been friends before and might be lovers after. No, okay, it wasn't all that much simpler, no. Physics made his brain hurt. That, at least he was sure of.